Rather lads, welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in all parts of the world. Now, everyone has done a video about Arsenal's injury crisis with Gabriel out for 2 months. They have done things like, is Eddie Nketiah good enough? They've done videos like how to replace Gabriel. And on this channel, it is quite embarrassing that I've not had that as a video. But no more. In this video, I'm going to be diving into my thoughts, my opinions on whether Eddie Nketiah can drive Arsenal through the period that Gabriel is out. Can we win the title without signing a new striker to replace Gabriel? But most importantly, my top 5 picks to replace Gabriel this January transfer window. The conversation about in this video is about your thoughts and feelings. 1, can we win the title without replacing Gabriel as our main striker? Number 2, is Eddie Nketiah enough to drive us through this period? And number 3, who is it? Tell me that name. I know there is that gut feeling. There is that player you want to see, Arsenal sign to replace Gabriel. Talk to me in the comment section. Let's have our conversation. Hit the like button. Let's get this video to 400 likes and subscribe to the thing as well. Now, question number 1, can Arsenal win the league with Gabriel out? In my opinion, no. It is absolutely impossible. And this is the reason. You look at what actually Arsenal get from Gabriel, the amount of energy, the progressiveness, the defensive actions per 90 this guy actually puts in, and also the goal involvements. Come on, guys. 10 goal involvements for Arsenal in the first 14 games of this season. There are not so many players that have actually done that. Actually, if you look at the number of players that have actually talked about in this video on my list, they have all done very, very well. But in terms of the extra striking, activities, in terms of giving Arsenal some kind of different dimension, that is where Gabriel Jesus' power is. That is where his influence has always been. Look at how he has elevated Xhaka. Look at how he has elevated Odegaard. Look at how he has elevated Saka and Martinelli. All these players have actually become better because of Gabriel Jesus. He, allows them spaces to run into. He allows them, he gives them that kind of target man to always target, especially Odegaard and Xhaka and Partey. And in the end, the collective actions of this guy, whether he scores a goal or he doesn't score, whether he makes an assist or he doesn't make, his presence in this Arsenal team is utterly undisputed. You need him to be in the team 100%. And for me, we are going to struggle. We were always destined to struggle without Gabriel Jesus. Okay, so the question is, can we win the league without replacing him? I don't see it happen. I really don't see it happen. He's a high quality striker. He's a high quality forward. You need someone to be, you need someone of that caliber. You need someone at that level to come in. Maybe a Joao Felix, maybe a Cody Gakpo, maybe someone like Colomwani, maybe someone, okay? But if Arsenal don't replace him, if Arsenal become adamant and and flexible, and we say, come what may, we actually need to replace him, we are going to go heads on. It's a mistake. It will be an absolute mistake that will come back to bite us in the back. We should go out in January and sign someone. If we want to stand a chance on the title, or even think about it, or even continue to dream about winning the title, then we must go out in January and do some action. Now, the other question is, can Eddie Nketiah do it? Because there's so many sources claiming that Eddie Nketiah actually did it last campaign when Arsenal actually didn't have a striker. Lacazette out, Aubameyang out, and Eddie Nketiah stepped in, especially in those 2 games, Manchester United and Chelsea. He had a very, very monstrous performance. But I don't want to be hoodwinked. I don't want to be deluded. I think Eddie is a very nice young guy. I think he's a good striker, but at this level, at the level where Arsenal are, at the level where we want to be, at the level where we think we are Premier League, we are Premier League title challengers, it's not Eddie Nketiah. I'm sorry, it's not Eddie Nketiah. He's not the guy. He might score for us 5 goals in those 9 appearances, which would actually be very, very good. But what he actually offers, as compared to what Gabriel Jesus offers, these are very big boots. And that is the problem of having players like Jesus, Messi, Ronaldo, those kind of players that are irreplaceable in the side. I'm not saying he is at the same level as Messi. All I'm saying that Gabriel Jesus right now in this Arsenal side is the only irreplaceable player. I would play Fabio Vieira when Odegaard is out. I would still play Fabio Vieira to replace Xhaka. I would play Albert Semelokonga to replace Partey. I'll play anyone in any position, but not in Gabriel Jesus' position. So for me, Edin Ketia, I don't see him score like as many goals as we are gonna need. And even if Jesus doesn't score goals, these other extra events, extra activities that Jesus brings to the pitch, I don't see Edin Ketia do that. I'm sorry. I just don't see it in him unless he proves me wrong. So then the third question is, how do we replace Gabriel Jesus? I've gone with 5 players that I think Arsenal should be looking at to replace Gabriel Jesus in January. And all of these ones are backed by numbers and they're backed by statistics. Okay, number 1 is Marcus Thuram, the player at Borussia Mönchengladbach. I've talked about him much on this channel, and I think many of you now know him. Many of you actually understand how good this guy is. If you've watched the World Cup, in the last game where he was introduced instead in the place of Olivier Giroud, and he actually had a very, very nice combination with Kylian Mbappe for the second goal. Marcus Thuram is a player to look at. In the German Bundesliga, so far 10 appearances this campaign and 14 goals. 14 goals and 10 goals. 14 games and 10 goals for Marcus Thuram. That is the same number of goal involvements Gabriel Jesus has had. Actually, Marcus Thuram has scored 5 more goals in the same number of games as Gabriel Jesus in a weaker league in the German Bundesliga. But you understand what I'm talking about. He's done it for France, and when I watched him at the World Cup for France, I was very much convinced this is the guy. He's got the pace. He's very, very physical, runs off the shoulders, and has that ability to play with teammates. He's not a lone striker, so it doesn't mean that when he's out of position, when you're out of position, the guy doesn't really help out. He helps out. I think he's very, very valuable as a player. His contract runs down in 2023. If Arsenal can get it done off the line, it will be one of the bargain signings we will ever do in a winter in a winter transfer window. Okay, so for me, Marcus Thuram is the player Arsenal should actually think about. Look, his goal scoring record might not be consistent because at times players do have those good seasons or half seasons, and then when you sign him, he might not actually be that good in terms of scoring the goals. But what I'm looking at him is his ability to do more. It is his ability to do more than just crossing the ball over the line, right? Helping us defensively, helping us in transition, helping us, create spaces for Saka and Gabriel Martinelli to drop into and link up well as well. The next player for me is Kolo Muani. We've talked about Kolo Muani as well, another French international playing in the German Bundesliga. And to be honest, I'm caught in between Marcus Thuram and Kolo Muani, but let me know who is better. Marcus Thuram playing for a bigger club at Borussia Mönchengladbach, and Kolo Muani playing for a club in form. They've just won the Europa League last campaign, entering Frankfurt. And this campaign, come on guys, 5 goals for Kolo Muani and 9 assists in the German Bundesliga. This is unbelievable. This is absolutely unbelievable. So talk to me. What do you think about Kolo Muani? I think he's a good player. Maybe he's going to be haunting himself with the thought of, if he had scored that last minute chance in the World Cup, France would be winners of the World Cup. Okay, but look, he's a young player, he's a young guy. He's gonna have so many tournaments coming up. He's gonna have so many times to represent France, and he will eventually do it. But with Kolo Muani, the number of assists this guy has is what we need to focus on. Very similar to Gabriel Jesus. We've talked about Gabriel Jesus' lack of goals. He's actually not scored a goal ever since the North London derby against Tottenham Hotspur when we won 2-1. That was after the international break, the first international break. Okay, and I'm looking at Muani, and he's a guy that has assisted 9 times. He actually has double the number of assists than the number of goals he scored. So he's assisting more. He's more of a team player. He would love to involve other players in the game. He would love to, he's that kind of selfless lad. And I think Mikel Arteta loves to work with such players that actually facilitate play, players that facilitate others to get into those good areas, score the goals, and, act as a team. So Kolo Muani, again, his contract is running down in the summer. We are talking about 10 to 12 million euros. We are talking about a player who is only in his early 20s. 23 years of age. Kolo Muani is a deal to beat. I won't be very surprised in January if we see a Man United sniffing around, if we see a West Ham sniffing around, if we see a Liverpool even sniffing around Kolo Muani. But I think Arsenal should easily consider this deal. But the deal that I think Arsenal should be thinking about, a deal that we shouldn't let go without competition, is deal number 3, Cody Gakpo at PSV Eindhoven. What a talent that we saw at the World Cup. And the Netherlands are quite unlucky, very, very unlucky that they didn't actually go through to maybe the semis, right? Maybe to the finals even, because they had quite a very, very decent squad. They had a very organized manager. And I thought their football, by far at the World Cup, was very, very entertaining. The likes of Frankie de Jong, the likes of Cody Gakpo, the likes of, all those players, all those talents. And you look at their backline and you're like, they had a very, very good team, to be honest. But I don't know how they didn't make it to the finals, to be honest, okay? But Cody Gakpo is the player that we saw at the World Cup. And I still mention this guy is going to be a huge star. Very, very versatile as a player. Very tall as a winger. Very tall for a winger. And that actually gives him the ability to play in different positions. He can play as a number 9 and use that aerial ability. We've seen him use the aerial ability at the World Cup to score for the Netherlands. He can be a very, very good striker of the ball. He's a very good runner. He crosses the ball very, very neatly. I just like him. But also, his numbers are insane. This campaign already 12 assists and 9 goals in the Dutch Eredivisie. Come on, guys. If it is not Cody Gakpo, it's no one else. To be honest, if it's not Cody Gakpo, look, the price might be a little bit out of hand due to his very good performances at the World Cup, and that is expected. But Arsenal should try definitely for this one. Why I think this would be a better deal than Mikhail Modric is if you want a left winger, this is the guy. If you want a center forward to deputize Gabriel, this is the guy. And if you want a right winger to deputize Saka, a right inverted winger to deputize Saka, again, this is the guy. I mean, he's going to be, for me, definitely in the debate. If he gets a very good system and a very good manager in a very good league, he's definitely going to be in the discussion with Kylian Mbappe and Erling Haaland in the next 5-6 years. He might even win the Ballon d'Or, and I'm calling this early. We might see Cody Gakpo. We might see another Dutch player in the contention to win the Ballon d'Or. This guy could be the replacement of Arjen Robben for the Netherlands. This guy could be the real big thing for the Netherlands if they don't take it lightly, if they actually market him the way other nations are marketing their players. Modric in Ukraine, Saka and Foden in the England, Musiala in Germany. If they market him at that level, Gakpo is going to be something really, really big, right? I'm calling it today. He might be a name for the Ballon d'Or. He might be a name for the Ballon d'Or in the future. So for me, guys, that is another deal I would do to replace Gabriel Jesus. Number 4 is Joao Felix at Atletico Madrid. We've already had rumors that Arsenal are in talks, Man United are in talks, Liverpool are in talks as well to sign the guy on a loan deal. Now, why I think this is a very, very good deal for Arsenal, it is the structure of the deal. A loan deal for 6 months. That means that you sign Joao Felix, but then it also allows us to sign Mikhailo Modric, who is our priority. And then also, we are talking about a short-term deal that is going to last for only 6 months, and then we can go back to normal. We can go back to the real transfer strategy that we have actually said. We're not going to spend a lot of money on him. It's going to be around 8 million euros to get the deal done. Maybe Mikel Arteta will be looking at this in a way that he doesn't want to spend 8 million euros on a player who's going to be here for only 6 months. But come on, it's Joao Felix. We've seen him at the World Cup as well. And I know many of you in the comment section are going to tell me, Cossy, you're World Cup excited. Maybe I am a little bit, just a little bit, but not so much, okay? Joao Felix is a natural sensation, guys. He's a freak of nature. He's so good. His talent is undisputed. I would even want to say his talent is unprecedented. But from what we've seen from Messi and Kylian Mbappe at the World Cup, his talent is definitely, it is not unprecedented. But what I want to say with Joao Felix is that 3 goals and 3 assists doesn't really represent his talent and ability for Atletico Madrid so far this season. Yes, he has the least number of game involvements, but also he has also played the least number of games. What I like about him is he can win games for you individually as a player, and that's why I really sign him. And number 10 or number 5 actually is Mehdi Taremi, 6 goals and 5 assists for FC Porto so far in the Portuguese Premier League. I'll take him. Mehdi Taremi, the Iranian striker, is also a sensation. 11 goal contributions in the first 14 games for FC Porto. But remember this. This guy is the opposite of Edin Ketia and Gabriel. A striker who loves to be in the penalty area, a striker who's going to challenge for every ball in that penalty box, and a striker who loves to have his name on the score sheet every game. He doesn't mind how many assists he has. He's a selfish bastard. He wants to be on the score sheet, and maybe to win the title, you need that kind of selfish bastard. And maybe that's why, we have Erling Haaland at Manchester City. The guy is a bastard. He just loves to score. He doesn't care how many players are scoring goals around him. So maybe Mehdi Taremi would bring in that different kind of dose to our forward line. But let me know in the comment section. Let's continue the conversation. Who do you think suits us best? Do you think we can win it without signing a striker? And is Edin Ketia the ultimate answer? I'm done with this debate. I'm only commenting on the comment in the comment section. I'm going to be live in the comment section. See you there.